Ever need to whip up a survey, a quiz, or maybe a sign-up sheet, like right now? Well, today we are going to master Google Forms. I'm going to show you how to build, design, and share a form completely from scratch. And we're going to do it all in just the next few minutes. Let's dive in. You know that feeling, right? You suddenly need to get info from a bunch of people, and you need it organized. Whether it's for a big work project, a quick school assignment, or just trying to figure out who's coming to the party, Google Forms is your best friend for getting that info fast. So here's the game plan. We're going to break it down into 5 super simple steps. First, we'll actually create the form. Then we'll get into the fun stuff, building it out with questions and giving it a slick design. After a quick final check, we'll send it out into the world and watch those results come pouring in. It's honestly that easy. All right, first things first. Let's start right at the beginning with a totally blank canvas. Everything starts right inside your Google Drive. It's literally a 3-click process. You hit that big, colorful new button, you scroll down a little bit to Google Forms, and boom, just like that, you've got a brand new untitled form ready and waiting for you. Okay, now here is a tiny little detail that trips up so many people, so listen up. You've actually got 2 titles. The big one in the middle, that's what everyone who fills out your form will see. But the one in the top left, that's your private file name. And here's the magic trick. Once you type in your main title, just click up on that file name area and bam, Google automatically copies it over for you. You can then change it to something like Event Survey Internal Draft or whatever, so only you know what it is. So our form officially exists. Now let's get to the real heart of it, building the questions that are actually going to collect all that useful information we need. You know, one of the coolest things about Google Forms is how smart it is. It's super intuitive. Just start typing a question like, say, first name, and just watch. See that? Google automatically changes the question type to short answer for you. This saves you a bunch of clicks and really keeps you in the creative flow, which is awesome when you're building out a longer survey. Now, at the bottom of every single question block, you're going to see these 3 little icons. They are your best friends. Need to ask for last name right after first name? Don't start from scratch. Just hit duplicate to copy the whole thing. Made a mistake? Delete gets rid of it in 1 click. And that required toggle? Oh, we definitely need to talk more about that. And that brings us to this powerful little switch. When you flip this on, a little red asterisk pops up, and it means people absolutely cannot submit the form until they've answered this specific question. This is crucial for getting that can't miss information, like names, emails, the important stuff. Multiple choice questions are way more flexible than you might think. You can just drag and drop the answers to put them in any order you want. You can add an other option, which, lets people type in their own custom response. And you can even add images to each choice, which makes your form way more visual and a lot more fun to fill out. So what happens if your form is starting to get kind of long? Well, instead of making people scroll forever and ever, you can use the Add Section button. This breaks your form up into nice, neat pages. It makes the whole thing feel way less intimidating and a lot more professional for the person on the other end. Okay, but what if you need someone to actually upload a document, like a resume or a photo? Easy. Just use the File Upload question type. As you can see, you get a ton of control. You can say only PDFs and images, you can limit it to just 1 file, and you can even set a max file size. Now, just a heads up, these files get uploaded directly to your Google Drive, so they will count against your storage space. All right, our form is totally functional. Now, let's make it look good. It's time to move on to the design. See that little painter's palette icon up top? That's where the design magic happens. You can change up the font styles for all your text, you can upload a custom header image, which is perfect for a company logo, and you can even plug in your exact brand colors to make the whole thing look totally on brand. We are so close to being ready for launch. This next part is kind of like our pre-flight check. Before you send this thing out into the world, it is so important to double-check your settings and test the whole experience. I'm telling you, this is non-negotiable. Always click that little eyeball icon at the top to preview your form. This opens up a live version, so you can click through it just like a real user would. You can test your required questions, check for typos, and just make sure the whole thing flows logically. So after a user clicks submit, this is what they see by default. Your response has been recorded. I mean, it works, but let's be real, it's a little cold, a little robotic, don't you think? We can do way better. This is why you should always jump into the settings and edit that confirmation message. Change it to something that sounds like you. Something like, hey, thanks for your submission. We'll be in touch soon. It's such a small detail, but it makes a huge difference and leaves people with a much better final impression. And here we are, the moment we've been waiting for, the payoff. It's time to share our form and analyze all those juicy results. Let's get this thing out there. Okay, this is probably the single most important step. When you're ready to share, hit that big send button. Then make sure you copy the link it gives you. Do not, I repeat, do not just copy the URL from the top of your web browser. That's the editing link. The one from the send button is the one for your responders. Get this wrong and you'll have a big mess on your hands. And hey, once your event is over or you've gotten all the answers you need, you can easily close the form. Just pop back into the Responses tab and flick that little Accepting Responses switch to Off. That's it. No more submissions can come through. As soon as people start filling out your form, the Responses tab just comes to life. It's like your personal mission control. Google automatically creates these really helpful summaries and charts, like this donut chart right here, so you can get a visual overview of your results in real time. You don't have to build a thing. And you've got a few different ways to slice and dice your data right here. You can look at the overall summary, you can zoom in and see all the answers for just one question, or you can go through each submission one by one. And for all you data nerds out there, with a single click, you can link your form to a Google Sheet for some seriously powerful analysis. And there you have it. In just a few minutes, we went from a totally blank page to a fully functional, great-looking form that's collecting insightful data. So now that you've got all the skills, the only question left is, what are you going to create next?